Yeah.
I think it's pretty big. I think it's pretty big. It's a pretty big pudgy. Nothing little about it. I don't think it's smaller than beans. I think you guys need to get your measurements correct, guys. Come on, what the fuck? Um, but damn got some hard questions. I think I asked him the hardest question, right? Which was, are you?
I, you know, I just love how I said the structure earlier. Like, it's pretty straightforward. I said, raise your hand if you have a question about the weather report. And if you do, I'll go to you. And then I said, after that, we're going to go to the jungle report. If you have a question, raise your hand after that. And then I said, we go to them. And if you have any questions for them, we'll go to you.
Meanwhile, Maya's waiting for the jungle report.
Yeah, yeah. My man is just, this is crazy. This is just fucking, this is crazy. It's like all of you chose to accept my hearing disability so much that you've gone into the selective hearing of just everything. So you have selective hearing disability, apparently. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. You're like, wow, I can't believe you muted Shib just for that. I did. Because I feel like he was going towards that way. You know, I know
Shiv is BTC Shiv.
whatever. Fucking BTC, Bitcoin, whatever it is. Shib, what you got?
You didn't let me cook, Sansa. I was getting around to it. Look, I asked them the question: are you bullish or bearish on beans, baked
Sure.
beans?
Yeah,
To be
whatever.
specific.
Fucking
And he said he's
BTC.
hella bullish. So you guys hating on beans on toast, suck my left nut. Anyway, look, I was getting around to ask for Don, right? Listen, wait. I wanted to ask for Don. Since pudgies are hitting close to all-time highs, I'm pretty sure it's at all-time high. I'm not sure 6 ETH is all-time high. I wanted to ask, as a team, how do you take in when your project floor price hits an all-time high? How do you guys manage that sort of euphoria? Do you feel like in the back end of things you have to maintain a certain floor price or what it is? I wanted to ask that to Vedant. If he's there.
He's engagement farming.
Yo, he's
Hey, let him engagement farm in peace. Okay? When your project breaks an all-time high, that's the privilege you get. You get to engagement farm just a little bit, even here at the espresso shop. Okay?
You know
Let
what? I'm
the
gonna
man
spin it to them. I'm
live.
gonna spin it to them. Like when Azuki or Beans hit like an all-time high, how do you guys kind of manage that as a team behind the scenes?
Yeah, a lot of people talk about like the attention economy, and I think for a project that has a long-term vision, for a brand that has a long-term vision, the currency is not so much attention as trust. And so you got to play with trust very carefully. You can overpromise and you can overhype when things are running hot. So I think we do a pretty good job at trying to keep a realistic point of view for midterm and long-term holders and collectors, and make them understand that, like, whenever we do run into a period of high hype, that there's a team behind things, that there's a very serious, like, long-term 5-year plan, and that, up or down, I think what you got is a team that's committed for longer term things. I think that's just a healthier way to engage with a collection, with a brand, with a long term, because hype can burn pretty hot and you can be pretty excited. You can really feel like you want to send out that tweet saying like, "Yo, we're the fucking best," which works. I'm not saying anything against that. I'm just saying that, like, at some point it starts to play with people's trust, and there's sort of like a hangover effect. You have too many of those shots, and in the morning you wake up and you feel different. So I think it's very important from a community perspective to maintain trust by having very clear communication with people. And for Azuki, it's difficult because we don't talk about the future of things. We like to surprise and delight. And so it's all about just kind of going back to the fundamentals of being like, why did you engage with Azuki in the first place? Was it to see the price go up and down and fluctuate a lot? Or was it because you have a long-term conviction that, decentralized brand can build something that is unattainable for a centralized brand? And trying to keep the right amount of excitement is always very important, but also just keeping people's trust. So it's not an easy task. Like, I'm always like, whenever Azuki's super hype, I'm always trying to be like, all right, guys, think about it long term, and whenever Azuki's not that hype, I got to also do work on that side as well. But it's worth doing because what we're building is very meaningful. Thanks for the question.
Yeah. Also, I want to kind of jump on that, despite everyone clearly not following the rules, but that's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Is that when you can tell when all the old listings expire is when people start saying shit like, "Oh, it's only 50 till this whatever, till this floor price," and it's a project that you haven't heard of in months. And then what happens? Undercutters come in because they think that people are buying, but the reality is volume is non-existent. And all the old listings mostly just expired. And so it kind of comes back to what Dem is saying here is like, are they really in it for the right reason in the first place? If that's all that they really care about? And I don't know. I think there's something to be said about people who stick around despite whatever kind of sentiment the project is in the first place, whether it's the Zuki Fuzz phase or whether it's the Zuki Moon phase or whatever it is. And I think that's something worth noting for any project that you look into at the end of the day. So, long story short, talk to a community member, get their insight on it, but multiple of them, not just one of them. Ashley, you've had your hand up for a minute. What is good, Queen? How are you doing today?
What's up? I am feeling good. I feel rejuvenated after VCon. It was fucking amazing. It was good getting to know you a lot better. I was going to ask like a very unserious question because it is a certain day of the week. But I decided that I'm going to take the high road and I'm going to ask a legitimate question. Dim, I was going to ask you if there's going to be some special merch for us, because like I have so much FOMO about not having the jacket, like the little like the cool jacket. Like I want that so bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Thanks for the question. And it's amazing to see that jacket pop up at events and just the pride that people wear it with, right? Whenever we're thinking about how we build a world of Azuki and beans, we always want to make things with love that you would hang up on a shelf in your house or that you would wear to an event like it was the signature piece in your closet, which means we can't make as many things or as quickly because we're really focused down on quality. But obviously, Takeda hasn't dropped anything for a while, and we're always looking forward to like bring the world of Azuki into your house, and there's no better way to do it than with physical items. And so obviously part of our plan in the future is always going to be building things like that you really want to wear. And every time I see somebody with that jacket, I feel so proud because like that was my baby. I went through the 10 rounds of feedback that we had to give and all the production and everything. But I don't feel like, oh, that's my baby and I'm not making any more babies. I feel like I want to make another baby. You know what I mean? TD Tuesday. Let's go, Ashley.
Let's go.
Fucking go.
Yeah. You took the high road. We did it. We went low. But yeah, no,
They go
I love
high,
that.
we go low.
Got him. All right,
I love
no.
you so much, bro.
Ashley, it was a fucking honor to get to know you a little bit more when we went to BCon. And this is one of those things that I'm kind of happy why I went to 4 days. Otherwise, I probably would have been okay going to 2 days. Is that on that last day, Ashley and I got to talk a little bit more because we were both kind of like just chatting a little bit. We had done a lot of what we wanted to do already, and so we just kind of sat down, got to talking, and next thing you know, it was like 4 or 5 hours, and it's amazing. And we both kind of connected on the fact that it was like, why can't we get to do this with other people that we meet here as well? And the reality is that shit takes time. Like if I want to get to know them the same amount, I got to sit down with them for 4 to 5 hours. Instead, I just bug them every other week on a phone call every now and then. And then I force them onto the special shot co-host spot. But hey, we don't have to talk about that. But yeah. No, but in all seriousness, I really do believe that, Red Guy said it the other day the best, is that 10 minutes IRL, I'm obviously he was, over exaggerating a little bit, but 10 minutes IRL is equivalent to like 30 hours in Twitter Spaces, right? Long story short, it's a short amount of time IRL is equivalent to a long amount of time on Twitter Spaces, getting to know someone, really understanding what they're about, really making sure you truly know them. So I think that's worth noting for anyone else who's trying to understand how to get those kind of connections into space. But so don't worry, Shotgun. I didn't forget about you with the Jungle Report. We're just gonna wing it. We're just gonna wing it a little bit. Don't worry. And Dem, I do
just forget the Jungle Report. Like people want to hear from them. We're gonna lose 20 listeners if I go into the Jungle Report now. I feel like that. I swear to God.
Well, at one point, Whale had his hand up, and I got excited. I'm like, oh, yes, we're going to be able to further the weather report. And in the moment I was going to go to him, my man took his hand down, and I was like, fuck me. Fuck. And now he knows that I saw that, and I don't know if he's going to shoot his hand back up or if he could like, nah, I'm going to let this ride. I'm going to let this ride. We got him, boys! We got him! Let's go! Well, what's good, my man? How are you doing?
Sanza, thank you. Doing great. Actually, was a mistake. I wanted to throw up the 100, and I accidentally threw up my hand. So I don't have anything productive to add on the weather report, unfortunately.
All right, can we talk about this? Let's talk about this real quick. Why are the emojis so close to the raising hand button? Why? And on top of that, if I'm clicking too fast, I accidentally press the mute everyone button. So if I'm feeling what the speaker's saying, I can accidentally mute them if it ends up, because I'm like, oh my God, yeah, thumbs up, 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 thumbs up. And it's like, mute. I'm like, no. Anyway, you're welcome for that little drama TV short there. Anyway, Look, Waj didn't even get to give his macroeconomic crisis before he either. Forgot about that one. He has realized that he's just shot his hand up. Look. OG, you got your hand up. Go for it, my man.
Oh no, bro. This is like the first time I've ever done this on a space. I literally didn't know I had my hand up. This is like really embarrassing. Let's just move along.
This is extremely embarrassing for you. Let's
just move along, guys. Let's just move along.
This is actually really disgraceful. This never happens. Wow. Sheesh. I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at the camera.
To say, Sansa. When have you heard OG not have something to say? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I'm in the middle.
This is a one-on-one.
We're gonna clip this for sure. This is one of the only valuable moments so far of the live stream. So OG, don't think we're gonna forget. We're gonna make this go viral.
This is actually crazy. This is
okay.
Crazy.
All right. Once again, friendly reminder.
Can you drop the link? I'll join.
Yeah, I literally put it here. I'm gonna pin it to the top. I just invite everybody to be an absolute hooligan here. There we go. It's pinned up.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, this is like the second time Chris is pinning it up, but it's fine. Oh, I also announced it, but hey, fuck me, right? Anyway, look, let's throw it over to all right, hold on a second. Guys, real quick, because we got a few requests. So if anyone has something to say, whether it's a question for them, a question for whether Shotgun gets to do his jungle report or not, question for anything, just raise your hand and I won't rotate you off stage. But until then, please raise your hand. We're going to get these people up on stage. OG, are you waving goodbye or are you waving because you got something to say? I never know. Oh, you got your hand raised. All right, look, OG, you got your hand raised. I'm sure you got something to say now. So because of that, we're going to go over to Wash. Wash, what's good, my man?
Hell yeah.
Hey, what's going on? I'd like to comment on your Twitter complaint about the buttons. It's because you're old and your eyesight and your reactions are fading. So that's
this is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, I go to Wash the first time in 45 minutes, and the slander just starts immediately. These Gajiras, man, they're ruthless. They go to Bali for a little bit and they think they can come back as, just kings of the world. And it's like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah. I think this complaint is a proper one. Yesterday was definitely, I'll give you that one. But today, I don't think about that. No, we're not going with that, King. Gigi is laying down on a beach chair right now, in the middle of the beach, and she's on Spaces with her hand raised. What's your fucking excuse? I'm traveling. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
That's right.
Wash, go for it.
I live in the bitch and I'm out here hosting Spaces. What's your excuse, Wash?
You're fired.
Anyway,
Wash, go ahead.
my excuse was the 15-hour time difference. But anyways, I actually had a real question for Dem. So Dem, with Azuki, being popular, one of the better performing collections even in the bull market, what do you think the next step is to kind of keep the brand going, but to provide a value back to holders beyond just like the floor price itself or airdrops or anything like that? Like to provide something beyond like what we see now in the whole NFT space where it's just everyone focuses on floor price. Do you see a way to actually like bring value to holders in some other form?
Yeah, there's definitely, that's a great question, by the way. It's definitely a challenge to reward the core community while scaling the brand beyond it. And in that challenge, there's a lot of like really exciting opportunities, right? Because you can build a flywheel where you reward your core holders and you reward your core community. And that helps you actually break out of the bubble and make your brand more well-known. So if you look back in time and you look at the IPX partnership that we announced during NFT NYC, the goal of that is to make Beans sort of this mainstream, really well-known group of characters and a really memorable IP, right? They have that cuteness, they have that funniness. If you think about IP, I think Beans had a really smart play. They sell really well. I mean, if you look at the numbers that we've been having on Instagram, even having like a very new account that we opened in January, it's grown to like 60,000 followers very, very quickly. And so we understand that as some of the tools that Azuki has to break out of the space and to be a really well-known brand. Well, at the same time, like we're a core Web3, core decentralized brand. And so we look to reward our core community. We look to unite them, to connect them, and to give them things to be excited about. And so, it has been a while since there was something that felt like a reward for holding, I think, Azuki for a long time. And so we're definitely looking at striking the right balance. And it's the same challenge that every single NFT project has. That's why, like, we were already cheering for Pudgies to do well, because it's risky to go ahead and say like, hey, I'm going to sell toys to the masses. I'm going to put them on Amazon. A lot of people could take a very negative point of view there and be like, well, how does that benefit the core holders? But if you think about this space long term, and if you think about the possibilities of like Web3 IP, the success of something like that leads the way, opens the way for everyone else as well. Like we already have that deal with IPX, so they're already a believer in the Beans IP, but I think more retailers are going to be able to look at our deal with IPX and Beans. They're going to be able to look at Pudgy's success with Amazon, and they're going to be like, oh, I get it. I get how these Web3 IP things translate, and it just sort of helps more people learn and get educated. So, I think it's been a while since we've been discussing like, oh, should it be Wag Me, like cheer for everyone, or should it be PvP, like my collection versus your collection? I think the space has matured a lot. And we can understand when somebody's making a move that is net positive for everyone in the space. And so it's really cool to be able to build on top of that and to compete, against Luke and the team in Pudgies with Beans. Love to see that.
Yeah, well, I don't know about them, but Azuki versus Pudgies, let's go! No, I'm just kidding. I agree.
Yeah,
I
like
love
in the best way, but like in the best way, like it's just the sort of competition where like what makes the NBA a great league? Is it just that one team is really good, or is it a bunch of really good teams playing against each other? You want to see teams like really good teams playing against each other, but at the end of the day, what they all want is that more people watch basketball. So it's really easy for us to understand that sort of competition, and that's why it's very easy for us to cheer when they have a big move, because we see that same vision or different versions of that same vision. So to see one version of it succeeding, it's good for everyone.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm God damn it though. I was gonna say, like, it's not like it's not like the competition is so fierce to the point where we refuse to do like a cross collab space with them or something like that, right? Like we're mature enough to be like, yeah, like cross pollination, let's do it. Let's get each community member excited about what's going on in the respective projects and help them understand what's going on in each project. Because more often than not, the biggest problem is most people don't even know what's going on, what other people are excited about at the end.
And I'll tell you what, Sanza, a lot of projects as well, they don't make it easy enough for everyone to understand. And I feel like that's one of the key things that make like projects like Azuki, like Pudgy stand out. They keep it very simple so that everybody can quickly catch up on what's going on. So I feel like that's another huge key.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. Real quick, let's throw it over to Zimmy. Also was at VCon, my man was wearing an Orbeez jersey the whole fucking time. Didn't watch it at all. So he smelled.
Dude, he like put an Orbeez necklace on Gary Vee.
He smelled so bad by the time he finally got to meet Gary Vee that Gary was like, yeah, this is great. And he just tried to push him off aside as quick as he could. I saw it happen myself. Zimmy, what's good?
Yeah, what's good, dude? Yeah, I didn't even think about washing the jersey. Ashley, actually, we were in the same Airbnb. She did a load of laundry. I know. Well, I was trying to stay away from you, but for some reason that wasn't working. But like, we had laundry in unit. Didn't even consider washing this thing because I was like, I need my blood, sweat, and tears to be laced in this Orbeez fabric. Yeah, I see Gigi trying to make a response to that, but we'll wait on that. But dude, honestly, it's so awesome to see like the projects like Pudgy's and Alien Friends start leveraging their IP and giving out like the plushies, and I think they did it at the right time as well. Like, I think if you're a project and you launch with those type of products, no one fucking cares. But like, you build a community, and then in the back of your mind, that you have that type of, when the opportunity comes into play, that you have that type of IP move, fucking incredible. And one thing that stuck out to me, I don't know if anyone noticed this, but I went over to the Pudgy Penguins Instagram, still zero sign of any sort of promotion of the brand. Not a single like story or post or anything that had to deal with the plushie toy, which to me isn't like, oh, they're stupid. It's just like they're still not ready to introduce it to the Web 2 world, which is something that people should definitely think about, especially when all we do and talk about is onboarding the masses.
Yeah, I love that.
Why the Karen voice, bro? Onboarding the masses.
Because it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, mom made him do weird voices when he was a young kid. So give the guy a break here, please. Okay. Don't pick on my low butter like that. Only I can do that. Anyway, look. I know we got two hands up, TG and Chib, but what I want to ask them here really quickly, and at this point, we're just saying fuck the Jungle report, fuck whatever report, and if we end up having time, we'll do it. Like whatever.
Dude, I'm sorry, over it.
Yeah. You know what, Shaka? You should type it in the comments. Because if we don't get to it, then people can at least read it, or maybe tweet about it. I don't know, whichever you want. But damn. What I want to ask you real quick is, I talked about this yesterday with Rose, on Space, not recorded, of course. So I would like to get a recorded answer here. When I was at VCon, there was a Coffee with Captains event. And if some of you aren't familiar, it's a space that happens earlier in the morning around like 8 a.m., 8:30. And they have a project that they also have DJ Network. And so they had what's called flex tags, FLEXTAG. And it showed your Twitter profile and the Twitter name, and it had a QR code scan so that it goes straight to your Twitter. And so instead of like, man, again, it's not a huge deal, but it definitely speeds up the fucking process while you're talking to someone standing right there in front of you. Oh, hey, bro, what's your Twitter name? You mind typing it in for me? It's like, what? Shit. Like, back up off my face, man. Let me just tell you, you listen to me spell it out, and on the, Sanza's pretty easy, but what if it's like someone like Crypto MILF Hunter 59? Yeah, I said 59, this is 69. And so you're like, CR, or even worse, KRY, PT, OE, HANTIR, 59, underscore. You're like, what the fuck is going on? And so anyway, point being here is that they had a tag with attached to a lanyard. Yeah, there was a point. I just
quick alpha, Crypto MILF Hunter 69 is actually available. So if you wanna go for it.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's available, King. Anyway, look, so Flex Tag has that going on, and I was curious. Rose said she has no idea because she's not involved in the event planning. Feel free to use the same cop-out answer if you want, but I'm hoping you can maybe give a real answer. I love you, Rose. But damn, is Suzuki planning anything like that for the Vegas event?
It's a cool idea, and you're welcome to walk around with a QR code with your Twitter on it. But we want the Vegas event to feel like a really kind of special experience, and that doesn't kind of match up with what I'm thinking about it. But the good news is that I think a lot of these community events that are popping up could really use something like that. And I know that there's people like Zookid in the Garden that are very good at making stickers and at making sort of labels and stuff. So you might be onto something. I think that currently in the crypto space, there's too much of a lack of decision between like, are we all docs? Are we all on docs? Do you want to reveal your identity? That to like make it mandatory for people at an event to wear a tag like that? ? But I think it should definitely be something that you're thinking about as you're going into the weekend. Like if you're out there to connect, like find a way to easily connect with people. That sounds like a really cool idea. Is it something that they made, or is it something that they bought from another company? And how much are they paying you?
Sorry, Gigi told me to smile for the camera at the same time. So I started smiling only to realize that there's been silence from
I'm sorry for you, Gigi.
Yeah. I don't know why I decided to smile. No, but in all seriousness, damn, I agree. I can see how some people would prefer to maybe, have someone come up to them.
Bring one. I think you should bring something like that so that you can connect with people.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to flex tag. Apparently, I'm not a big enough follower. I'm not a big enough influencer. I'm not an influencer, period. But my account, whatever you want to fucking call it, it's not big enough to be like, hey, flex tag. I'll be honest, I would rather have the Espresso Shot logo, and as opposed to whatever other project that I would have to buy into to get that. So I'm trying to see if I can get that going, but I don't know. There's something.
I think what would be more interesting is the idea that you do an Espresso Shot live from Vegas. That would be a cool event.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel
He'd rather skip it and blame it on the event because you're lazy.
Guys, Sanza did the Espresso Shot every day, no matter what. When he was a beacon, like honestly, I have to give it to him.
That's cap.
Nah, no cap. He was.
It is cap. On Wednesday, there was only me.
That's okay, Shotgun. You had it.
Sending flowers.
He was literally on a plane. That's the only reason why this man did not do it.
And it's still cap.
He was there.
Yeah.
He signed on that go Wi-Fi, and I heard him on those spaces.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I still showed up. I still showed up at the end of that spaces when I fucking landed. I got my Starbucks coffee. I took a proof of cup picture. And then I was like, oh, it's still going. Let me log on and see what's going on.
Starbucks not even coffee.
I still showed up. Location would have been very, very proud of how I acted when I came off the mic, because I channel my inner location. I started off with, "Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you respecting the hand. I just landed. I'm in fucking Indiana. I don't know why, but here we are.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good location.
My man, I just got validated by Dev. Let's fucking go. I might as well start a subscription service like Location. And I'll do like Sprite Zero or some shit. I don't know. Whatever the fucking polar opposite of Coke Zero is. Anyway, my day was just made by that, Dev. Thank you. But yeah, it was. I appreciate that, Gigi, Ashley, Demi. It was. And let me go on the record here, Shotgun. I fucking love you, and I appreciate you for holding it down while I was on that plane. You crushed that Spaces, and it was just great vibes all around. So I genuinely really do believe that if you cannot have a Spaces that can function without you, it is not successful. So that made me feel a little bit successful that day, and I'm really looking forward to what we can do the rest of this year, and then a little bit of some. So
I don't know if you saw the timeline. Everyone was saying it was their favorite espresso shot ever. No one can figure out why.
I was about to say, I thank you, because you'll finally let me shine.
Yeah, no, okay. Well, no one else is letting you shine today, but the Jungle Book part, let me tell you that much. Anyway, Waj, you got your hand up, my man. What's good?
Hey, I just want to talk about the espresso shot in Vegas. Because in case people forgot, we will do a live video feed of Sanza eating ice cream with balsamic vinegar. So that will be the real feature of the espresso shot in Vegas.
Let's do it.
Is there going to be mayo involved? Very important question. Will there also be mayo involved?
The mayo is the dessert for the ice cream. So he'll eat his ice cream and then he'll have a shot of mayo to wash it all down.
I thought the mayo was going.
I'm gonna fucking throw up. This is disgusting. This discussion. Oh my god, this is disgusting.
I know.
You're the glizzy gobbler for a reason, dude.
But dude,
okay,
you put mayo in an espresso shot and name it the Rose.
Oof.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What? Why are we dragging Rose into this now? Don't slander Rose's name like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she's still there. She's listening right now. Yeah. I can't believe you put some drag her name through the mud like that. Mayo in an espresso shot?
You're assuming that mayo and espresso isn't a good combo. I'm feeling like I need to prove you wrong today.
Are you confirming? I would love to see you prove me.
Real quick,
I want video proof. So go ahead, Shotgun.
I just had to mute. Because this is getting out of hand. First, you guys drink Starbucks, which is not coffee. It's like water or some shit with like taste of coffee. And now you're talking about mayo and espresso. So I had to stop that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I got it, King. This is why I only touch the cold brew or Nespresso, nitro cold brew at Starbucks like a coffee snob. Because those are the strongest and best tasting coffees over there. But look. Everyone has questions for Dem, but we didn't even get around to what Dem wants to talk about. And I want to let Dem shine a little bit. And so, Shotgun, you got your hand up. You're making this a little hard, but let me throw it over to you. And then, Dem, you can take the mic and go for it. Let it rip. Whatever you want to start the table on, we'll take it from there.
Nah, dude, absolutely. Real quick, I just wanted to make a quick question for them, just so we don't go way too fast over the pudgy topics. Because one of the main concerns that I saw across the pudgy community that didn't really like the move, because I saw some people didn't like the move, and I actually got curious and went to check why. And I saw a lot of people saying that the lack of character development might be a concern. And what I see is people complaining that they do not necessarily have like main characters and specific, characters that create that emotional tie with the community. So I was wondering, for the Beans IP development, how important do you think storytelling is going to be, or if you don't think it is?
Oh, great question. I think storytelling is really important in IP building, and it needs to be done with the right amount of like teasing, revealing, and the right amount of mystery, and then the right amount of specificity. Like the story needs to be something. So a lot of people that are going to engage with Hello Kitty without understanding anything about Hello Kitty's background or what it is as a character or where it goes, or when you look at Line Friends, we recently partnered with, all of those characters have pretty in-depth bios, and there is some storytelling in the Netflix shows that they've done with those characters and that they will be doing. So the thing with storytelling is that it needs to be the right amount for there to be some mystery and some sort of like ownership into the story yourself. You can't just drop like, Lord of the Rings, 3 books, the whole background of beings all the way to like their beginning and that'll bore the fuck out of people. They're not going to engage with that. But at the same time, I do believe there's got to be characters and you got to see a story with them. Like when you go back to the Beans Instagram, you're going to see Jay and Jelly, the 2 main characters in the story. You're going to see them interacting in different ways. And so we're not telling you like, hey, the story is like this is how it's going down. This is how these characters are. But we're showing you through the content what the story is and the story directions are. And so that allows you to reach people on like a couple more levels than if it's just cute IP or if it's just a bunch of like really nerdy lore. And I think we've heard that from the Azuki community as well before in the past. Like some people want a lot deeper lore. They want to go really heavy into like the background and the characters and where they come from, where some people are just like, does it look cool? Does it feel luxury? And so it's difficult to get that balance right. And I don't think anybody like you can't really point at anybody and be like, hey, they're doing it perfectly. But yeah, I mean, if there's no story there, then you're missing something. I do think the Pudgies do have quite a bit of lore. There's the huddle, there's these words, there's these like concepts. And even Luca, when he was doing the unboxing video, he was talking about like, this is the samurai kid and this is the so there's a little bit of lore and storytelling there. I think we just got to be patient with these things. You can't do everything at once. You can't do the toys and the storytelling and the technology all at once. I do hope that, and I know they're smart over there at Pudgies. I do hope they'll add a little bit more storytelling to the characters if that's what the community wants.
Nah, damn, I completely agree. And I do believe that the Penguin storytelling through their Instagram as well, they're killing it. So I completely agree in that sense because I feel like people, they tend to compare those collectibles with, let's say, One Piece, Naruto collectibles, like Funko Pops and shit. What you can compare like those new Web3 brands with those other ones that have been developing their story for years. So I do believe that the approach of creating that story little by little through different pieces of content is a great way to go. But yeah, back to you, Sanza.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I could not agree more. Just in general, I think the whole, at first, I know, damn, I'm just like, yep, I agree, and then I'm just going deeper into it. No, I genuinely, I just want to say one thing, and then we'll throw it over to the hands, which is that when I first started out, when I thought of lore, it was very one-sided, closed-minded type of deal where it's just like, why would I care about the lore? Like, what? For what reason? And it's pretty important. It's what sets the tone, and we do have to pay attention, yes, but it could really take it to another level, if we understand that concept of it in general. So I didn't understand that, and it took me a really, really way much longer than I like to admit to understand how pivotal it was to the story and the project and the community itself. So let's throw it down to some of the hands. Let's start with Gigi. Gigi, what's good?
Hey, Sansa. I mean, I just want to throw some attention to the Jumbotron, however you write it. We have some awesome legends on that stream. I'm not sure who they are. They look very serious and real. Also, them. What do we know about Yuki? I know you're talking about lore. We all are fanatics of lore. So can you tell us more about Yuki?
Yeah, so you go all the way back. I love to talk about Yuki, my favorite character in the universe, and I'm so happy that this next bit of the story is about her. When you go back to like Azuki lore in the beginning, there was a character called Bobu the bean farmer, and then there was Yuki, and Bobu was looking for Yuki, and Yuki was a real character that pops into our Discord every once in a while, and that has been leaving clues all over the place in all of our lore drops. Yuki, kind of wants to be found, but keeps hiding away and keeps sneaking away. And so I think we have this really cool story going on And it's a very mysterious character that is sort of inviting you to follow down the rabbit hole. And Yuki is very, very mysterious, but I think it's one of those characters that, like, to me feels very memorable. I'm a huge Matrix fan, and one of my favorite sort of scenes is when they knock on Neo's door and they ask him to follow the white rabbit, and they end up at a club, which is what happens to me every weekend. I'm just trying to stay home, and some crazy Matrix guys show up on my door, and I end up at a club. So I kind of relate to that story. I'm really excited to show a little bit more about Yuki, but it's always going to be, let me tell you this, it's always going to be like just the hint of a story, just like a general feeling of a story. We've done it with the beans where we've gone and we've created 12 different characters. And if you go to the website, you'll find the 12 characters and their personality. But that's as deep as we'll go in some of these storytelling exercises. So it's still going to be pretty abstract, but I think everybody that comes to Vegas is going to learn a lot more about Yuki. And, it's one of my favorite characters. So I can't wait for people to discover more.
Who's trying to get
kill me with the questions? Like,
who's trying to get matching Yuki tattoos? Anyone? Gigi? I know Shiv. I don't know if Shiv even is gonna bother. But matching Yuki tattoos. Let's make it happen. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to put it on your forehead. You don't have to put it on your kneecap or you just put it on your butt cheek or something. Put it on your ribs, whatever you want, Doesn't have to be anything crazy. So let's make it happen. What better way to bond than matching tattoos? Name one. I'll wait. Anyway, look, let's throw it down to Lack. Lack, are you gonna come get matching Vegas tattoos with us? What's going on?
Dude, I 100% would if I was going. I literally just got my beans, so I didn't sign up for Vegas. I'm very sad. Very sad.
I have great news for you. There's a wait list, and I've been hearing from people that sign up for that wait list that sometimes tickets become available. So just go to Discord, open up a ticket, and let's get you on that wait list because there might be a ticket in there.
That's awesome. Thank you.
And welcome to the garden. What a great bean. Great choice.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm sad. I had to sell my bow boom as part of gathering ETH for it. So I'll have to get another one. But
that's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
No.
Anyway, Locke, do you have a question you want to ask, or?
I did, and I forgot it because my dog just freaking dragged me 2 miles from my house, and I'm lost. But I just wanted to remind you, this is for Shotgun. You say he held it down. You realize he was a Spaces host, right? I believe
I can't hear you, Locke. You're blowing into your mic. I can't hear a fucking thing.
I believe I'm the reason you two meshed into one show. Yes, I will take my flowers. I created this amazing show.
Yeah. All right, Locke, I'm gonna mute you. I'm sorry. I can't take the wind blowing in my fucking ears. I can't do it. I love you, Locke. I appreciate you. You and Aaron were both the audience members that gave me that feedback. And we really do appreciate you. Y'all made it for us. We love you.
I gave Sanza the alpha. Brazilian, working power is cheaper. So that's all.
Let's relax. Let's not get that far. Yeah.
Gary.
Jesus.
Joe, I love you. Anyway, look, once again, friendly reminder, if you all, everyone that's up here on stage, just shoot your hand up, just real quick. We got a couple of requests, and I don't want to let them sit for too long. We got 15, 20 minutes left of the spaces. We've been discussing a lot. We've been talking about a lot. Don't worry, OG, I will get you up here. I promise. Give me a second. Anyway, look, let's throw it down. Let's throw it over down to Shiv, who's been waiting up here on stream, looking down at his penis or his phone. I can't tell. It's one or the other. Not sure what's going on here, but it's okay. So, Shiv, what is good, my man? How are we doing?
I'm fucking dead. I was gonna make the joke that I put my hand up by mistake, and I was meant to throw up like 100 emojis, but I was gonna talk about the storytelling aspect, right? The greatest stories that we've seen, right? We're talking like Naruto, One Piece, whatever. They've taken years and upon years to get to that point, to build that sort of story, to build the emotional connection with the audience, right? And great things take time to come, and that's with any IP, any storytelling, any product that's being built, right? You don't expect people to have an emotional attachment out the gate, right? That's with anything, period. It takes time to curate something around it. And if you think about it, most of these projects have only been out for a year or two, which is extremely small amount of time comparing to a lot of other big IP brands who have been around for 20 plus years, right? And have embedded themselves into culture, into people's childhoods. And it's crazy that we're going to see that again with a lot of IPs that we have right now, and we're at the beginning stages of them. So I feel like make the most of it right now, because it's going to become something that we see all around us, and this is the initial points of it.
It's a really great point. I want to build on it, because I think what you're pointing out to is the success rate of stuff, or of IP brands. Like when you look at something like Naruto or One Piece, you're looking at the peak of a mountain of manga and anime, and you're looking at the very, very peak, and those are the ones that have broken out of the mainstream and have really made it through. And so if you were at the bottom of that mountain looking at your chances of really breaking out, you would be very concerned, because you're basically making a new manga, you're making the new Naruto, and you don't really have an audience to begin with. You don't have a group of people to support you or like work you through those first couple of years where nobody really cares about your new Naruto manga. When you look at NFTs and Web3 IP management, you do have a really exciting thing. And I think it's the reason why people should be excited, even though, yes, it takes a long time to build an IP that is memorable, and it takes a long time to build a very desirable mainstream brand that, like, you know, kids ask their parents for Christmas or whatever holiday they celebrate. But at the same time, a lot of those brands don't start with an already like a base of fans, like a community. And that's why we keep going back to the word community. We have the opportunity to build something while there's already 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people that really care about it. So when you look at what Pudgy did by sort of really breaking the algorithm in Amazon with that one launch and getting everybody to buy at the same time, that is what should get you really excited, because that's a replicable thing. Like whenever another IP that is well executed, that is well managed, drops a toy line or drops some sort of like other physical product, if they're able to move their community to interact with it, if they're able to move their community to break that algorithm, then you can replicate the success of other Web3 brands. So, you know, obviously there's a lot of things to cheer about, but the biggest thing to cheer about is that, you know, the Web3 community around Pudgies has been smart enough to realize, like, hey, we should already be pushing for the success of this thing because we're already fans of it. And then the math becomes very different, because you're no longer like, oh, I'm making the next manga, I don't have any fans, I hope that I get some fans. You're like, oh, I already have the characters, I already have the IP, I already have the fans and the funding. Now I can build something with a higher chance probability of success. It's still really difficult. It still takes a long time, but it's what should get you excited whenever you hear that a Web3 brand is doing IP character development, is the fact that there's already a group of people that really care about this stuff. Like they already spend a lot of time engaging with those characters. So the chances that it would break through and break through the algorithms is much higher. So, you know, I think it's, you got to be a little bit patient and a little bit excited at the same time, which is always difficult.
Yeah. Patience is something no one in this space knows besides anyone that's over 30. No, I'm just kidding. There's you know, there's some stray 25 and over people out there.
Are we doing the 30 over 30? 30 over 30 awards.
My man knows. Zimmy,
my knees
Waj. Yeah, knees hurt.
Hey, what's up? I heard my name.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Waj is crying because he's 60 over 60, and he's all like, oh, fuck you guys, you fucking youngins, you don't even know. Anyway, let's throw it over to Zimmy, who is also 30 over 30. What's good?
I'm 32. So, dude, so something that stood out to me, I wanted to mention at Gary V's VCon because it goes back to your thing with patience. And in all seriousness, something that Gary Vee mentioned, he's like, hey, VCon, we're learning. We're still figuring stuff out. This thing is 2 years old. It's a baby. And like, I don't think a lot of people understand how long it truly takes to build something and how many pivots there are, even from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, until you have a sort of like scalable model. And I think that's just something that needs to resonate with this space. Like if Gary Vee is laughing about some of their missteps and he's like, hey, we're like embracing those, and this is a 2-year-old company, it's because he understands the concept of having something for 10 years, 20 years, inherited businesses. So just kind of like zooming out to that like full scope perspective was something that I personally digested, because we've seen projects get absolutely torn apart time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely important to understand the cadence between how often you deliver and then how much you ask for patience, because you can always ask for patience never deliver, and then people riot, rightfully so, because there's been no delivery. But I think I talk to everyone in our community, like the longer term people, the mid-term people, the short-term people. And I'll just tell you this, like the long-term people, they're having more fun. They're making more connections. They're enjoying the ride a lot more. They get to have like a better mental health, and they take more breaks. I think whenever I meet somebody that is really under a ton of strain, is because their horizons are really short-term and they're really trying to get things to change in a very short amount of time. They have less fun. So I don't know if that's a factor into how you deal with these investments, but I think there's so much to be gained from being part of a Web3 community that is not just floor goes up. And, that's very easy for me to say as being part of a team, but I'm telling you out of experience, just out of how many, I talk to like 16, 17 different people every week. And the people that are thinking long-term they're just having more fun. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But
quick question on that. So when you say like 17 people, what types of people are they?
So I have an open office hours with everyone in the community. And so I open that to like Bobu holders, Beans holders, and Azuki holders. Anybody can book time. We have conversations about the NFT space, IP usage, what kind of business you can build on top of the like Beans or the Azuki images that you got, some Bobu proposal that they're trying to bring in, or sometimes we're just shooting the shit and like talking about their dog that, had to like go to the vet or something. And there's nothing as valuable as that. So I would say a pretty good mix, but obviously, it's the people that volunteer to talk to me. So I'm always curious about where else we can get feedback from. We have a team of 12 mods that are on Discord 24/7, looking at Twitter and Discord sentiment and giving us reports of what people post. There is a lot of conversations that happen in closed group chats that we don't get to hear and we don't get to listen to. But I feel pretty happy with the researchers in residence, the mod network, and my one-on-one calls that I have a 80% sense of what's going on in the community. But yeah, you're always like, oh man, there's probably some conversation that I'm not a part of. Gathering community sentiment, like reliable, dependable community sentiment that you can take action on, is so difficult, because it's not like you have massive like 100,000 user data sets and UX surveys and NPS and all those tools that a normal product manager would have. You really have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people. They're having a lot of conversations in places that you can't really like data mine. So
for sure.
It's a challenge, man.
Data is the hardest thing in this space.
I used to have so much data to make decisions on, and now I'm like, I got a vibe that people are unhappy, and they're like, all right, you just got a vibe, and I'm like, well, this tweet, I saw this tweet, it's got kind of a vibe like that, and they're like, okay, cool, thanks, Dem. Next question.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's what I say to Dem all the time. I'm like, Dem, how do you feel about this tweet, bro? I don't know. It's a little risky for the community. And he's like, yeah, I don't know, man. The vibes on God are capping for real. And we're like, low key. I'm like, yeah. So I'm sorry.
There's your data, dude. There's your data.
They say dead ass. Sorry, we don't say yes anymore.
I really relate to Marin. Marin is this creator, like Bitcoin creator, and she correlates like the phases of the moon and the zodiac with like whether Bitcoin will go up and down. I really relate to her. I look at the zodiac as much as I look at my sentiment reports and analysis, and I'm like, the moon's in Gatorade. We gotta watch out.
Damn it. It's so difficult.
Why was it for 2 weeks? Everyone's like, Mercury's in retrograde. That's why everyone's choosing violence on the TL today.
Violence on today.
It's like, no, everyone's bored and haven't touched grass in 2 weeks. It's not because Mercury is in retrograde. It's because your ass is in retrograde. What did you say, Jimmy? I'll tell Mom on you right now.
My bad. No, I was going to say, dude, I was going to say to Dem, like, it is difficult on the point of, like, data collection for projects because it's not like e-commerce where you get to collect reviews and it's, like, very easy to break down that data, or, like, a SaaS model where you can do, like, NPC scores or something where you can gain, like, your overall sentiment from your, what is it?
Yeah, NPS.
Yeah.
It turns people into NPCs.
Yeah, I just did that. NPS, whatever. Fucking stupid bots. Like those scores. So like being able to gather that sentiment and turn it into actually actionable data is like incredibly difficult to do in this space. I mean, I don't even know if there's anyone out there building like a solution that allows you to do that. Because like what you just mentioned, you have 30 mods or whatever you said, maybe 12 or 30. It doesn't matter. But like you have multiple
69 mods.
Yeah, perfect. Whatever amount of mods taking the manual time to gather that type of sentiment. Now, like if there was a way to automate that, like what could those mods be doing instead? And how could that benefit the community? So just like that type of manual work is something that needs to eventually be automated so projects can focus on like more high value conversations with their members and like obviously not have to worry about that type of like, I don't want to say grunt work, but it's not like, it's kind of tough, right? Like those type of roles and responsibilities.
Yeah, you always got to be looking at how to scale these sort of efforts, and you can't get stuck doing stuff manually for too long. But at the same time, we try tools and some are really disappointing. Like I'll tell you a funny story. A lot of these tools do sentiment analysis. So they'll read a tweet and they'll tell you this is a positive or a negative tweet. So they'll take like 1,000 tweets and they aggregate it. But the reason is like degens talk backwards. Like when a degen is happy about beans, is like, oh, don't fucking buy beans anymore. Like I'm trying to find a fucking entry point. And the model is like, oh, that's a negative sentiment. People don't like beans. So we were trying to train this model to like do it backwards. At some point, there's some things that are unscalable and that you just got to like build that moat by doing it manually. But we're always looking at ways to automate things and make them a little bit more data driven. I think there's tools out there that are good. We tried them all. So just full disclosure, if you have a tool, bring it to my DMs and I'll try it. But we tried everything. Nothing quite works right now. But the good side, the offside of that is that people are so passionate about NFTs and the NFTs they hold that they'll just tell you to your fucking face. Like if they don't like something, they'll just be on your DMs and be like, I don't like this. And that never happened when I was working on Gmail because nobody gave a fuck about Gmail. Like either the email sent or the email didn't send, but like people were not passionate about it. So we would release a new feature.
Sure.
And it was like, we don't know if they like that feature or not because we don't know if they even care about this thing. But here we do like one little thing and then it's like everybody is on top of us if we're doing great or like they're hitting us if we're not doing great. So there's a ton of feedback. But it's more about like when you're not releasing, that's when it's hard to get signal because people are talking about something else. They're talking about pudgies now. They're talking about BRC20s. They're talking about Cumcoin or whatever. And like, they're not talking about us. And we don't have a lot of signal.
Official sponsor of the
Did you
espresso
just
shot.
say Cumcoin?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He said Coin. He said Coin.
No, he said Cumcoin. It's every espresso shot.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Look. We got to control the narrative here. That's us boarding the train to get the train back on track here. For fuck's sake, shotgun. Anyway, look. Zimmy had a lot of great questions, a lot of great takes. Also had the mic for about 10 minutes there. I got to give it to him. He knows how to hold it. Both hands, all that, everything. Anyway, look, let's throw it to the other 4 hands that have been waiting for I don't know, 15 minutes now. So by all means, let's throw it over to Ash. I'm going to go by the order on my screen. So we're going to throw it over to Ashley, Wash, OG, Cantoria, and then Hacks. And then we're going to start closing this out a little bit. It is officially 1:00. So Ashley, what you got today?
I don't really remember what I was going to originally say when I first raised my hand, but I will say that I'm just going to I don't. Well, I do normally do this, so I'm not even going to say that. But I just want to give flowers to the whole Azuki like team, because I have not seen a more active community so far. And it's not just just the team that you have working. Like they're everywhere, like literally everywhere. Like Beans everywhere, Azuki's everywhere. Like no matter where you go, you look left, you look right. They're literally there, like even the memes, the Beans kind of doing some inappropriate stuff. They're in the memes, they're in the group chats. I mean, it's like a Azuki invasion. So I don't know, like that's pretty bullish for the event.
Yeah, them said it the best, Ashley. In one of our earlier spaces we had with them, Beans can be cute. They could be mad. They could be happy. They could be sussy. They could be non-sussy. I mean, people have really been diving into the sussy ones. Let me tell you, some of these memes are just fucking off the charts, out of pocket. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I would never in my wildest years think of this one. So I got to give a shout out to that.
Is that good sentiment or bad sentiment? For
Definitely bad.
data?
I can't even talk to Sanza on Discord without him selling like a bean with his butt up or some shit.
I have a titty Beans. My Beans has some titties on there, so I'd say it's a good step forward.
There you go. Waiting for the Azuki community Azuki team to update the metadata. Apparently, Dem has all the Dev God key powers. Can just update the metadata whenever he wants. I was listening in another spaces while I was like walking down the street in the mean streets of Indiana, and Dem was all like, I can just do whatever I want with this metadata key, and I'm like, oh damn, okay, Dem. So Dem, waiting for the titty trait to come in. Waiting for the titty trait. Just any day now.
I bet you are waiting for the titties. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
you say fuck you, Sanza, go to the hands.
I'm looking out for Ashley here. Just looking out for Ashley. All right, Luke, my man, what's good? You got your hand up. What's good, my man? How we doing?
Yo. You just said I was next, you son of a bitch.
Okay, I said I was going by the order of my phone here. And did I forget that you were up next? Absolutely. But I already picked on him. And therefore you're up next after Loop. He's also a new speaker, so he does get new speaker privilege. You've spoken 2 or 3 times already. So, Loop, what's good, my look, watch. Shotgun didn't even get to do his fucking jungle report, bro. Relax. It's okay. Next time. We'll get him next time, King. Loop, what's good, my man?
This absolutely jumped the line. That was dope. What's up, guys? It's like a VIP. Yeah. Wait. So I don't know if we've covered this yet, but are we going to this pre Azuki party event, like the dinner event? Like they canceled the dinner, and now there's like some live event, and I have to pay $130 to go to this event. Like, are we doing this? And it's scaled up, so basically, like if not many people go, it's gonna suck. What's happening here? I need answers from the horse's mouth here.
All right. So the scaled up event is a really great idea by Carl Choi. He basically wanted to showcase like a bunch of different people building and have more than just a dinner and make it into a full event. So all of these events that you see on the Luma/Azuki, they're community run, except the one that we're hosting. And I think it's just like it's difficult to fund things, but I think it's also at the same time an opportunity to like make a whole weekend out of it. So he was asking me about like the ticket price and stuff, and I was like, come on, people are coming all the way to Vegas. They're making the trip out here. They're gonna be here for the weekend. If you give them a good event, and I'll tell you, Carl Choi can throw a good event. If you give them a good event, they're gonna be happy with you setting the price and the cost for it. So I really think that that's one of the events that I'm really looking at, because Carl's done this 100 times, and just the opportunity to see all the different people in the Azuki community that are building. But at the end of the day, like, that's fine. If you don't want to, you're in beautiful Vegas. You can take that $130. You can put it all in red, spin the wheel, and let luck be your friend. I think it's just cool to have the option to go to all these different things. And at the end of the day, these are community members, man. I mean, of course they got to charge an entrance. They're not going to pay it out of their pocket. Support the community. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On that note, a special shot will be running an event. Is there a venue? Absolutely not. You just got to come into spaces, but you got to pay before you come into spaces. I'm only charging like $5. Just send it straight to my e-wallet. You can look at it like a pre-sale of a meme coin if you want. It's like 0.00005. So whatever. There's no limit. There's no limit to send as much as you want. Shotgun's immediately out. He wants no part of that. That's okay. Waj, my man, you've been waiting for a minute. What's good?
Hey, what's going on? So my point, although Zimmy went on forever with his, was feeding off the Zimmies, where basically like the actual business cycle, it usually takes a business like 4 years to get on steady ground, become profitable, figure out their actual direction and plan statistically. So like we're not 4 years into this space, so expecting everyone to like be perfect is insane. Just keep that in mind as you're looking at these projects as they try to do new things. And we all should, like Dem said, we should all been rooting for Pudgies. We should root for Azuki. We should root for any project that's actually trying to do something beyond just dropping a PFP collection or an airdrop or whatever. Like anyone trying to do something new, we should all support and try to get behind. And if you're going to, quote unquote FUD, do it in a constructive way. Like, hey, you guys did a great job, but this could have been done better. So we can all learn from each other is a much better way to do it. And then lastly, with the comments about me being 60, I mean, if you do believe that, just check my tweets every day about the gym. So Sanza can suck it because he wishes he was on my level.
Thirst trap. Yeah. Yep. Man takes advantage. Let's try I'm Robert Downey Jr. I look like him, so look at my Twitter profile. Give me engagement. I'm a pink Gajira. It's crazy. Scap is crazy. It's crazy. There's so much that I could say, but I promised that I would be better than this. I promised I would talk less.
It's always the thirst traps in Web3, dude.
Fucking. Simi loves coming off me whenever he wants. He's like Joey Valves 2.0. Some of you won't get that reference, but some of you might, and that's good enough for me. And look, guys, if you haven't already, let's retweet the spaces, get it out there. I forgot to schedule the Polygon spaces before this one so I can plug it in the comments, but it's okay. I will be putting out the Polygon Spaces link at some point today, so y'all can make sure to click the link on that. I'll probably put it under a tweet, my next tweet. So just keep an eye out for that. I'll make sure to link it and send it to some of y'all. But yeah, so real quick, friendly reminder, tomorrow we got the Polygon shot. Thursday, still waiting to confirm something on that, so I don't want to tweet about that till I have that confirmed. Friday, also still waiting to confirm something on that. This is what happens when you go traveling for a week. At VCon, you're like, oh, you don't even think about some of the stuff that you got to do, and you forget, right, I'm supposed to put out a spaces thread. Oh wait, right, I got to catch up on those DMs. Next thing you know, it's Tuesday afternoon at 1:08 p.m. and you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck just happened here? And your co-host keeps flooding you like, oh, what are you even doing? And
we're hiring a new host for the espresso shop, by the way.
Yeah. All right, King, let's relax here. Let's take it easy there. Anyway, look, I'm getting waves, which means to put an end to this monologue. So we're gonna throw it over down to Cantoria. What's good?
I'll keep it quick. All I was going to say is, Dem, I sent you a DM. I think there's someone who can help you with some of that demographic data help. It definitely needs to be manually done currently, just because since the API has changed quite rapidly, a lot of the stuff is going to have to be done by data scientists. And you're right, the tools are, all right, but they're not great. There's only a few people in the space. I wouldn't even say are in Twitter, and I have to be careful what I'm saying because this is recorded, but a lot of people who came from Meta are now doing a lot of freelance work. And that's the thing I sent over to you, is a lot of those people who are like 1, 2, or 3 in the space for Facebook and Instagram, they're moving over to Twitter and they're doing their magic here. So if you need, I can connect you to them. No problem.
Thanks, fam.
There you go. He said, let's link up. Send me that number. Just like they would at an IRL event. So it's basically like we're there. Let's link up, bro. We're building. Let me give you my number, and then you proceed to never text them again. But yeah, no, this one's real.
Who's this Sanza bozo in my fucking DMs? God damn.
All right, look, let's throw it over to Hacks. Hacks, what's good, my man? After you, we're gonna start wrapping this up. What's good?
Hey, what's up, bro? I just wanted to let you guys know I literally sent like my entire follower count to 0, so I didn't mean to unfollow you guys. If anybody's listening to this and like got hurt from me unfollowing them, I didn't mean to unfollow you guys. But yeah, I also wanted to just add a little bit to the conversation. I think like although I don't think we should cancel or FUD, projects for no reason, I think we really need to be conservative with the amount of liquidity we have left in the space. Like, if a project's minting for more than 1,000 ETH and raising more than 1,000 ETH, and all they're delivering is like close or just something simple like fluff. I call it fluff, right? It's not an actual roadmap or utility. Then I think we need to speak up as a community, guys, because like we're at an all-time low for ETH mints, we're at an all-time low for volume, and we don't need more liquidity going into other founders who are just like trying to make their vision or their dream come true. So I'm really like not trying to be an asshole here, but I even tried to talk to him. Like I even actually requested to speak to Vision of V. I was requesting for 15 minutes, and he lied to me. He said I didn't see you. There was like 60 people in the space, and he let 5 people up. So he's just a liar, man. Like that's my problem with him. That's why I'm calling him a pussy on the timeline. He's a fucking liar. So I don't have beef with him.
Hey, Hacks, real quick. I do feel the need to preface some context here. I tried to tell you last night on OG Spaces, but you left before I could come off the mic and explain this to you. I personally have talked to B before, both on Discord and on Twitter group chat and on Twitter Spaces. The actual reality is that he doesn't see Twitter Spaces in the same way that we do, right? Which is like we run this like a podcast, we run this in a certain way, we have a certain direction we take this in. He sees it literally more as Discord voice chat. So he's really only going to go with people that he's familiar with or that he knows, that he actually genuinely wants to talk to. Because the reality is, with someone like him, with such a big following, it's just too easy to let someone up that you don't know that is probably going to blow smoke up your ass or, and there's nothing to be said about what you might have done in terms of asking him whatever or fighting him or whatever. It's just that he doesn't know you. And so he's rather just have people up that he's familiar with, that he would talk with. I've been up there. Shiv has been up there. We've talked to him back and forth like it was just a regular conversation IRL. But again, it's not run like a Twitter Spaces. It's run like a Discord voice chat. And if it was up to him, he would just let up everyone that he knows. He would probably also make it a little bit more of a private Spaces, if I'm being honest. But there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's just the natural nature of Twitter Spaces and how public it is. So I just felt the need to put that out there just for your knowledge. It's whether or not he saw you or whatever is completely irrelevant, in my opinion. I just think that he just doesn't know you, and that's just the way this is, especially on Twitter. A lot of us don't know everyone in that particular aspect, especially if you have 100K followers. You're not going to let up every single person, especially given the nature of this big project right now. Yeah.
If you look at the tweet I posted, bro, he deleted it, and he deleted it because he got caught in a lie, right? And he does this all the time, bro. This is like the 10th tweet of catching him delete just because he's like, oh no, I'll get caught on a lie if I do this, bro. He's a fucking liar. This is a scam. Like I'm gonna prove it.
Yeah. Again, Hacks. I just gotta mute you because I don't want any misinformation spread. I've seen him delete a tweet that would be better for him to keep out as well. So it's not just him deleting a tweet because it may or may not be a lie. What I didn't see it, so I can't inform you on it. And I'm not saying you're wrong or everything you're saying is inaccurate. I'm just not aware of the conversation here. And I just want to say, B has deleted a tweet where he said, I'm donating fucking $2 million to charity. And he'll delete it. And I literally took a screenshot and I sent it to him in a group chat message like, hey, why did you delete this? And he's like, because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to do some clout shit or whatever. And so, I know you're laughing and I know you're thumbs down at me, but I'm having a hard time believing that, I kind of know B I'm not saying he's my best friend. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying shit like I've talked to him personally on multiple different occasions before, and I'm just having a hard time believing that he would do such a thing in a malicious way that you're describing. It's all I'm saying. So that's all. But
bro, I'm from Dubai. Just so you know, I'm from Dubai, and I know everybody who's important here in the Web3 space that's connected.
All of them?
Let me tell you, bro, they all have
all the
negative things to
important
say
ones.
about him. Nobody told me that he's an honest businessman, that he's an honest founder, and this is why I'm doing this. Like, I'm literally gonna make it my only cause on Web3 to cancel this project, and you guys will see. If this mints out, like, you'll never see me here again.
All right, well. It's not Friday. This is a violent shot, so I'm just gonna skip over this. Gonna go over to Kentoria. Kentoria, what you got, my man?
I was just gonna say two things. One related to the last point, and one related to a few points before. I guess I'll start with the latter first. You know, I think ETH and in general, like most NFTs have bottomed out. We've started to see like volume actually coming back in, especially with that Sotheby's auction. With the Fidenzas going for about 2.4 million is a huge look. Usually whales move before sharks, and then sharks move before retail. And the other thing I was going to say too is if you go into DApp Radar and the block.co and you start looking at the analytics, new mints are starting to go back up. A lot of gas has been stabilizing, and I think June and July is going to be really interesting for NFTs and DeFi in general. Not financial advice, but I do think the analytics is moving towards more volume. And the other thing too I was going to say is that there is more volume moving into projects that people have been wanting to grab for a minute. And the other thing I was going to say too is because PSYOP and some of the other tokens have actually given some people some decent profits. I mean, usually the mentality is that money that is made in this ecosystem usually stays in this ecosystem for people who want to compound. So a lot of people seem to be moving that money into NFTs as well. So I'll be interested to see what happens over the next month or two in regards to this space. The thing that Hacks was saying, I don't necessarily want to comment on any specific project or individual, but what I will say is I 100% agree, and I will put this on the record. I think it's absolute horseshit when you have someone raising hundreds of ETH, if not over 1,000 ETH, and they're not developing anything. Like, and this is not me tooting my own horn.
Bro, 9,000 ETH.
And this isn't even me tooting my own horn. This is just how I believe to run a business. You should be developing the tech before you even receive one penny from anyone. Like, I've been working on this project for 5 years, and I've bootstrapped $600,000 and developed everything before anyone even touched anything. And when you're telling someone that you're going to be deploying some type of tech or some type of product, you need to have that product done or at least in progress before you even announce it, or else it's actually illegal. Like, you can actually get hit by a lot of different regulatory agencies. So in regards to all that, like, yeah, I think that a lot of projects, the new generation of projects, they're going to have to play a lot smarter. This isn't 2021 anymore. You know, this isn't where people can just release a project and just take money and bounce. Like, Janet Yellen and all the others are now coming down pretty hardcore. You know, DAOs are getting hit with class action lawsuits. You're seeing a lot of stuff happening where now if you don't have legal counsel, it's going to really impact a lot of these projects. So projects really have to be run as a business now. It's not just going to be a feels good, we're all going to make it. And while we all do want to make it, you have to make sure that the people that you're putting the money towards not only do their due diligence and they're putting together a real product and not just sending you merch, but they're also 100% legal. You know, a lot of these projects, they could have all the best intentions in the world, but if they make a misstep, they're going to become a target. So the idea that a founder would be deleting tweets or saying things that might be, you know, iffy, you know, it's definitely not a good look. And I'm not speaking on anyone specific, but in general, I think people are going to become much more, let's say, economical with how they spend their money. I'm not saying that people aren't going to be buying NFTs. I think, if anything, there might be a micro bull this summer, but I think people are going to be much more selective because they're saying, okay, I truly believe that this technology is going to change the space. I truly believe it's going to be taken by institutional investors. I believe it's going to be taken in by major corporations, but we need to believe in teams that have previous work experience, previous examples of their due diligence and that they have a backing and a real team. They're not just some bozos in their basement promising you some t-shirts with whatever, you know? And there's nothing wrong with t-shirts.
Don't, no. Teachers are gonna make it. No, I'm just kidding. Cantoria, first of all, I just want to say really, really quickly, I agree. I could not agree more than anything you're saying right now. And I just need to back up for a second. I feel like I'm at a point where I need to introduce just a little bit of context here, because some people, we kind of just dove right into this with absolutely no context, to the point where someone DM'd me like, what the fuck are people talking about right now? So, yeah, exactly. So Ether, the project, is an anime project. Vision of V is one of the founders, and they've announced that they're going to be doing a min price of, I think it's a little mixed right now, but it's a min price of 1, right, for public, and whitelist can pay. Yeah, okay. Let's take it easy there, boys. Min price is 0.5 for whitelist, and or you can mint it for free and lock it up for 3 months. So people who are whitelist have the ability to be able to do it for free, lock it up for 3 months, not have to worry about a gamble. You're still probably going to be profit, whether it's 0.02 profit or 5 ETH profit or 10 ETH profit, whatever the fuck it might be. It's going to be profit regardless, and that's just my take. That's my opinion. Obviously, no one else is going to have that opinion probably, but that's how I look at it. People are like, oh, it's a gamble. Sure, it's a gamble in that you're betting on the project being able to carry the expectation that they've set up for themselves, right? And to provide a little bit further context without monologuing for another fucking 20 minutes here, is that they have built up a lot of mystery by not really announcing too much. And some people see that as bullish, some people see that as bearish. I'm a little bit of both, right? I think that if you let mystery go on for too long, expectations are inflated, and therefore anything you put out will never be good enough. I'm a little bullish on that. If you do it right and you execute well, it can really take the project on a strong kickstart. So that's where I'm at. That's why I'm 50-50 on this whole thing. Full disclosure, I do not, as of today, I do not have Ether whitelist. I'm also 50-50 on whether I'll be buying it on secondary or whether I'm able to get my hands on one somehow, whatever the case might be. I'm as neutral as I can be at this very moment today, as I always try to be. So Zimmy has been punching me in the nuts for the last fucking 10 minutes. So I'm going to throw it over to him. He's my little brother. I don't mean to be all, mean about it, but Zimmy, what you got, man?
What's good? I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I just wanted to piggyback off what Cantoria was saying about like what used to work doesn't work now. And I don't know if people have heard of the like adoption curve. Most people only know it as innovators, like visionaries, like early adopters, mass adoption, stuff like that. But there's something called the chasm. And the chasm is pretty much like this wall where it goes from early adoption, innovators to like early majority. And pretty much what that means is to get over this wall, it's like you need everything that worked before to get to this point will not work on the next piece of the adoption curve. And like, in order for you to hit that new demographic who literally thinks differently, who's not going to be willing to get into the stuff where they're going to be way more skeptic, right? Like they're not going to get into stuff because it's all mystery. Like that works now. That's not going to work later. Like people are going to be like, okay, like what are you offering me? Like I'm into stocks. Like Apple develops products. What do you have here? And with that being said, like for you to succeed into mass adoption, you're actually going to have to prove and provide these type of utilities, which is why I'm personally like, I understand a little bit of mystery when it comes to like marketing and getting the job done. But like at this point, if it's 100% mystery, like I'm just completely like bearish on that, because I just don't think that's what's going to work like long-term in the space. So that's my opinion on the chasm.
You almost butchered it there. Orgasm.
L'chaim. Thank you. He doesn't really have a h, which is a little sus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot more things sus than that, buddy. Anyway, look.
Oh.
All right, Stone, my man, you've had your hand up for a minute. We're gonna throw it down to you. What's good?
All right, so it's a couple of things, right? I just want to say, because I know we're talking about ether, and like, first off, I'm not one of those people who gets upset when people like FUD and all that, right? Like, it's all good. Like, that's your opinion. I understand it. Like, you got every right. This Twitter, we on a free world. Like, speak your mind, right? But I think that, like, basically how I see it, right? V is not, from what I've seen, right? I've been fucking with Ether for like 4, 5, 6 months, some shit like that, right? And he hasn't, like, he's not one of those founders that's like begging people to buy his project, right? Every time you hear him speak, he tells you exactly what it is that he's trying to build. And basically, he's said multiple times that he wants Ether to be his entire life, right? His focus is art. He's worked for Fortnite. He's worked with FaZe Clan. He's worked with Artifact. He's worked with Azuki. And he's worked closely with a lot of these teams. He knows what it takes in the background, right? His co-founder is extremely smart and talented. And he's like one of the biggest whales at Azuki, if I'm correct, right? CV. So that's kind of like his past and what he's done, right? And when you build up that type of like prestige, it's your game, right? Like, he can, if he doesn't mint out, that's his fault. And the people who do mint and spend their money and it goes down, that's their fault, right? Like, I'm gonna gamble on it. That's what I'm gonna do because I think that it's gonna succeed. That's kind of like my main point. But then, like, besides that, Hacks, bro, I just kind of wanted to like talk to you about it because, like, you said live on Spaces yesterday, bro, the only reason that you became bearish was because of the free mint for whitelist holders, right? You were at my house, bro. We spoke on this shit. You knew the price. You knew it was 1 ETH mint. You knew that I mean, I don't know you did the math, but you knew exactly what he was pulling from liquidity, right? And you were extremely bullish. And you were trying to get whitelist. And I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to attack you, bro, or nothing like that. But like, after you didn't get whitelist, you like got super, super negative on the timeline about it, right? And then you came up on Spaces and said multiple times that the only reason you're bearish is because whitelist is getting it for free. But they're getting it for free with a 3-month lockup. So in 3 months, it's either going to be 5 ETH or 0 ETH. You feel me? It's either going to go up or down. If you free mint, you're taking that gamble. You're not really like, you're not just shitting on people. You know what I mean? If you pay 1 ETH and I pay free, in 3 months, you're going to be up with me. You're going to either be up to 3 ETH or you're going to be up down to 0.2. You feel me?
Bro, listen, this is what I think is going to happen, okay? Right now, he's completely enabling the biggest fucking grinders. All the grinders I know are in there, okay? And they're trying to get the whitelist. And let me tell you, I don't give a fuck about that whitelist, bro. It's 1 ETH. Who gives a fuck? What I have a problem with is me paying 1 ETH and then somebody getting it for free. And then 3 months down.
I didn't mute him for anyone listening. He just straight up hacks it. Yeah. It's not just me, right?
I mean, no, it is, but that pricing gap is a little weird. That's a massive gap.
I hear the gap.
I mean, I look at it this way. I'm looking at it this way.
Bro, did I mention the 3-month free at all when I was at your place?
Okay, he's back.
Come on, bro. You know I didn't, because I didn't know it was free for whitelist, bro. So that's my main concern, okay? The fact that it's free for whitelist and then 1 ETH for public. And I actually did more research onto him, and all he's building is a freaking clothes brand, bro. Let him use his own money for that. Why the fuck is Web3 funding that when we don't have any liquidity in the space? So, like, Stone, you met me, bro. I was literally at your crib. And you know I'm not a fucking motherfucker to just FUD for no reason, bro. But we're literally at, like, an all-time low in Ethereum. And this is the last fucking liquidity cash pool that we need, bro. Like, I get it, you're attached to the project. I get it, bro. And I respect you. You're my friend. But Like, this is really gonna hurt the space right now, man. This is the last thing we need right now. Even if we go to a micro fucking boat, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be other deeds all over again. This shit's gonna suck all the liquidity out of the market, and we're just gonna fucking go to zero one more time.
I don't know. I really don't. I really don't agree. You know what I mean? But maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? I could have the wrong opinion, but like the way that I see it, bro, I don't really like. I don't know. I don't see it that way. I feel like money's gonna keep coming into this space. Like it's I don't know. I don't see it disappearing.
So real quick,
you think Ether's gonna like bring back the bull run, bro? Like,
okay.
Fuck, I wish, bro. If it does, then I'll be happy.
All right. Last I checked, this is the espresso shot, not the hacks and stone shot, or the whatever fucking shot. Look, homies. Settle in the DMs a little bit. It sounds like there's some DMs that needs to be had between the both of you. But I know. I'm sorry that I don't provoke drama in my own spaces. You'll have to forgive me for wanting people to resolve this fucking peacefully. Give me a fucking break. Fuck you, Shotgun, Simi. I can't say it to Cantoria. He's been nice to me, so I can't say it to him yet. But look. This is what I see what's going to happen. I think the free mint actually works out for the better. And yes, some people are going to have to pay more. Tough shit. How many times have you had that happen already anyway? I don't have a very specific example off the top of my head of that working out for a project or not working out for a project. But I think at the end of the day, anything we're saying right now is completely useless. And it's more speculation because they haven't revealed a ton of information. All we know so far is that CV is a really good trader. He's traded from X amount of ETH up to 1,000 ETH plus. And we know that V is a world-renowned artist. He draws really, really well. He has great art. The project on its own, to me, does seem like it has some sort of a foundation. I don't think it has a ton, right? And so I think as more information gets released, we'll understand where the project's going. Right now, I think it's still just so far up in the air that anything we say, again, is useless and pointless. And so I think we wait till we get a little bit closer to really dive into the speculation. I'm not going to be, basically whenever people start fighting it or talking about it more on the timeline, that's when we'll start to see more information getting released because the project will have more pressure. And I don't mean in the sense of, everyone's talking about it. Finally, it's time to talk about it. No, I think I truly think it's more about like whatever the sentiment is on the timeline. If it's positive, the project will probably kind of continue as they would want to. If it's negative, they're going to release something so that there's a little bit of a better light for them so that when they execute on the mint, it's executed more successfully. Now, do I think it's going to be like other Ds? That's a bold statement. A bold statement, sorry. Bold statement. No, that's not the fucking word. That's a bold statement because I do think they're smart enough to not repeat that, right? I really do. And so, yeah, I'm just going to stop there. And because I do want to wrap this up. It's 1:30. I have another fucking spaces to do it too. Where I also have to talk to someone. So, that being said, Shotgun, Waj, you guys got the closing remarks. Your co-hosts up here. Let's wrap this up. Shotgun, you go first. Waj, you go second. We'll come back to me. We'll get this closed and we'll get this going. We'll get the day going today. Shotgun, go ahead, my man.
Nah, Hacks left actually. I was about to ask, like, why is he so worried? Like, either be like saying they're gonna mint like for 5 or 10 years right now. Like the next time they mint, we might actually be already in the next bull run. So relax. Liquidity might already be here. Who the fuck knows, dude? Like they be on that talk like for 2-3 years. Like it's gonna be like next 5, 6, 7 years till we can actually get to mint. So yeah, other than that, this is Espresso Shot. We go live every day, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, all the way to 1. Robert Downey Jr., aka Iron Man, talk to me.
Anyways, everyone left, so the conversation's kind of dead. But my whole thing is like, look, if you don't like a project, you don't like what they're doing, don't mint it. That's it. You just choose with your money. You don't have to FUD it. If you don't like the way they go about it, fuck it. Like, unless you know somebody's a scammer, shut up. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if somebody mints a project and you don't agree with how they market, how they tweet, whatever, then don't be part of it. But again, what I was talking about earlier, like, root for other people, root for the success of the space as a whole. Stop trying to shit on every idea somebody has. Like, if they want to charge 1 ETH, cool. If you can afford it, buy it. If they want to charge 100 ETH, cool. You can afford it, buy it. It's not your fucking business. You don't run the business, right? Let them do what they want to do. And if you don't like it, then just don't buy the product. Like, it's not that difficult. You don't have to shit on everything just because you don't like their idea or you don't like somebody's personality. Like, unless it's a straight scammer, just keep your opinion to yourself most of the time.
Oh, dude, I'm about to drop a collection. 10 ETH mint price. And you guys are fucked because you can't do anything. You're going to mint regardless, right? The name's going to be Jungle Breakers. It's going to be like...
Dude, if it comes with that shotgun plushie, I will buy a 10 ETH.
Please, let's not make that plushie come to life for the love of God. Anyway, look, y'all, you could have gone to any spaces today. You came to this one, and I appreciate you for it. I really do truly appreciate every single one of you that decide to show up Monday through Friday. Whether you show up Monday through Friday, whether you show up 2-3 times a week, I appreciate you regardless. I just hope that we're also bringing the information you're looking for. We're bringing the vibes that you're looking for. There are so many spaces at this point that, like, you kind of have to choose on your own what you're going to do. And for us, we're not just looking to talk about just
You don't have to, actually. I have some alpha. If you actually log into your Twitter on computer, you can actually get into multiple Twitter spaces. So in case there are like spaces that you don't want to speak, but you just want to be there supporting, like, just join a fuck ton of them. And it's good. People are going to think you're in there.
Okay. Well, if that isn't the most Brazilian shit I've ever heard, I don't know what is. Anyway, look, guys, I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. Without you all, we wouldn't be here every day. Without you all, we wouldn't be what we are now. And I truly could not be more grateful. I promise I'm trying to find the best way possible to come up with something to give y'all. If you are not in our Espresso Shot group chat and you want to be, you're going to be active, you're going to be in these Espresso Shot spaces, let me know. I'll add you in. I'm not shy. We do have very specific rules, so you do have to make sure you follow those. Otherwise, you get purged by the end of the week. Yeah, you don't even get a warning. You just get purged with no warning. Yeah, that's right, baby. We have a lot of fun with that one. Anyway, I love y'all. I appreciate you. Have a great fucking Tuesday. Let's play this outro. 100 grand.